I wrote my first poem because of a young lad that I knew was a friend of mine who actually hung himself. And it really got to me because I'd had seen him the night before. I worked in a club at the time, and in this particular club I was head of security, and he would come in quite often to see me, and we were friends, we were good friends. This particular night he came in to see me. He was actually looking for his girlfriend that had just broken up with him, and he was pretty broken-hearted about it. And as usual, I would say, "In you go, mate, for free, no worries." And he took his cap off, and I said, "Make sure the cap stays off, mate." And he said, "Yeah." And as soon as he got in the door, he put it back on. And one of my security guys called me and said, "Mike, he's got his cap back on." So I said, "Tell him." And Mike said, "Take it off." And he took it off. And then 2 minutes later, it was back on. And this happened 3 or 4 times. And in the end, I said, "Tell him if he puts it back on, I'll take him outside and give him a slap." Well, he put the cap back on. And I was furious. And I dragged him out the side and gave him a slap. But he was a good friend, and he was upset, and I got upset that I actually did it. I ended up saying sorry, and I gave him a hug, and I said, what's up? And he said, "I'm looking for my girlfriend. She's broken up with me." And I said, "Look, mate, go back in and see if you can find her." So he went back in, and he said he was going to go home, and I told him to wait around and wait for me. I'll give him a lift, because I lived in the same area. And he said, "No, I'll just catch a bus or something," and that was it. He left. And I found out the next day that he'd gone home and hung himself. And I rang his mother to talk about it, because I felt terrible that what had happened between us had caused him to hang himself. And his mother let me know that it wasn't about me. In actual fact, he defended me. He told his mum that night. He went home and sat on her bed and told his mum what had happened with me. And she said that she got quite alarmed about it, and he said, "No, Mum, that was Mike teaching me respect." And he was spot on, it was. And she said that it was over the girlfriend. But either way, I still felt terrible. And while I was on the phone to his mother, I was in tears, she was in tears, and I wrote this poem. And it's called My Lesson. And it goes, "Learning respect has a price. Has my ignorance taken a life? Good intentions clouded by loss. That's the price of being the boss. A boy in pain who needed me. Forgive me, Lord, I didn't see. My lesson is this: if I am the man, to offer my love whenever I can." And that was the first poem I wrote, and that's why I wrote it.